Bonjour everyone, Françoise Alouin Monroe, your astrologer, your guiding star. We are a few days after the full moon in Sagittarius, but there is so much energy at work at this time that I feel the desire to shed more light on them. The moon is about to enter her disseminating phase now, therefore it's the perfect time for sharing more thoughts on the current celestial landscape. During this timeline, the frequencies invite you to be face to face with the truth, to explore what is your truth. And immediately I'm thinking of the seventh and last Hawaiian principle of the Huna philosophy, Pono, P-O-N-O, Pono, which says effectiveness is a measure of truth. Pono emphasizes that true truth focuses on results, meaning that what works just for you, what brings you positive change and well-being, is your truth. Pono is where effectiveness of your actions is the ultimate validation of your own truth. A strong shift of energy happened when Jupiter entered Cancer on the 10th of June. Jupiter crosses one sign in 1 year, so he will stay in Cancer till the 30th of June 2026. From May 2024 to June 2025, Jupiter was in exile in Gemini, and now in Cancer, he is in exaltation. With Jupiter and Gemini, we were in the realm of dispersion, of rapid information, with a Jupiter seeking coherence. During this timeline, the truth has been split into a multitude of speeches, opinions, propaganda, and slogans, often contradictory and rarely profound. There was a lot of noise and many lies revealed, and Jupiter could not argue anymore. Now Jupiter in Cancer is exalted, but that does not mean he has mastery over this sign. It means that in this sign of Cancer, his energy of amplification, of expansion, of overflow, of belief, faith is intensified. From Gemini to Cancer, Jupiter moves from an intellectual exile to an emotional exaltation. So he demands you now to find your point of balance, your anchor point. Jupiter in Cancer wants to be protective, like the guardian of the home, the nurturing grandfather. He wants you to reconnect to your roots. He wants you to create inside of you a warm and inviting space, the hearth of your inner home. And on the outside, a place where you feel a sense of comfort and belonging. The sign of Cancer is connected to the fourth house in astrology that symbolizes your roots, your emotional foundation and patterns, family, and a sense of belonging. It is connected to your need for security, stability, and comfort in your personal life. It is also about how your childhood experiences and your upbringing have shaped you. However, the shadow side of Jupiter in Cancer can also be overprotection, ultra-mothering. The sign of Cancer also resonates with fear of the outside, the worship of home, locked in the past, and nostalgia. Jupiter in a poorly integrated Cancer can overplay the role of the savior. He is ultra-invasive. He thinks he knows what is good for you, so he imposes his truth in the name of love and protection. And behind all of this, there is a desire for control. So during the Jupiter and Cancer timeline, you are tempted to return to your roots, your emotional bearings, to see your loved ones again, to take refuge at home, to slow down, to feel secure. We all need grounding, especially in the current challenging climates. But be careful that this desire for protection does not lead to suffocation, withdrawal, or fear of change. Jupiter in Cancer can push you to overreact emotionally, or at worst, to remain trapped in an undigested past. So this transit of Jupiter in Cancer up to June next year is an invitation to revisit your relationship with your family, your lineage, with your belonging, but without losing sight of your autonomy. As soon as Jupiter enters Cancer, he has no time to regroup, because he immediately clashes with a tensive square to Saturn and Neptune in Aries, that is active from 12th of June to the 9th of July. We are here in a head-on clash between two dynamics that have absolutely nothing in common. Cancer wants to protect, to return to the cocoon, and to be rather dependent and clinging to the past. On the other side, Aries, who is very individualistic, wants to cut through, move forward, and burn down what is holding you back. And between these two, it is Jupiter who can flutter. So you want to believe, but what? You want to guide, but where? You want to transmit, but what story to tell when all the old versions are dissolving with Saturn and Neptune? Especially when Saturn wants you to be concrete and hold the wheel, and Neptune tells you to abandon, to quit, to let go dream of another world, while Jupiter is steering between these two different energies. So this square conversation is like an energetic crossroads, telling you that you can no longer believe blindly, nor run away into the fantasy of a return to the ancient order. Now with Saturn Neptune in Aries, you are invited to build a flexible identity. But it is with a real work of conscience, discernment and emotional control, because Jupiter in Cancer, uncontrolled, can become a real emotional bully. And you may cry, you may sulk when you don't feel understood. Or perhaps it is you who makes those you love suffer, wants to overprotect them, but at the same time you prevent them from learning, from growing. It is a time of practice to be able to love without locking up, to transmit without dictating, to believe without imposing. Our society, our institutions, our most intimate relationships still too often function in the mode of emotional blackmail, of emotional dependence. It is like, I love you, so keep silent. I protect you, so you owe me everything. So look at yourself. Do you come from a dysfunctional family where love is conditional, where loyalty takes precedence over integrity, where you continue to play a role that no longer suits you, for fear of being alone, or for fear of displeasing people, or simply because you don't know any other ways? So learn to set your limits in the face of that. And during this timeline, ask yourself the questions: am I an adult capable of discernment? Or am I a child subject to an authority that I do not dare question? What role do you want to embody? Do you want to be passive, reactive, or creative? This questioning also comes from the planet Pluto transiting through the sign of Aquarius for nearly 20 years, up to 2044. Pluto in Aquarius forces us to broaden our perspective. He imposes, whether we like it or not, a new relationship with a collective, with a human community, with true solidarity. one that is no longer based on origin, culture, language, history, but one a lucid, voluntary and mature commitment to the common good. So if you persist in remaining locked in your small mental spaces, your community habits, your emotional certainties, you will not be able to hold on. You will be swept away because there's too many shocks who are approaching. So dare to stop waiting for the system to make decisions for you. In fact, it is time for you to stop confusing security with servitude. At this time, Pluto is in retrograde and acts underground, searching, stripping, deprogramming, and in Aquarius, it does not attack emotions. It attacks the system, collective structures, social models. So it does not come to touch you in your emotional self, but where you believe you have the freedom of thought. And on the other side, Jupiter in Cancer wants to protect tradition, defend attachment. This is precisely what Pluto pushes you to revisit. Thus, you are invited to look at your belongings and to face them head-on, to recognize their blind spots. Because Pluto in Aquarius wants something real, something raw, and something free and collective. So the general climate of this timeline is quite challenging indeed. You can see that a discomfort is settling in, a form of tension between the desire for security and the need for openness, clarity, and direction. So inevitably, all this can generate a lot of frustration in your need to reconcile the two. How can you understand the world without losing your comfort? How can you broaden your horizons without breaking your routines? Well, the answer lies in choice. Choice. Because this timeline shows you how impossible it is to continue moving forward without giving up certain things. You will need to show courage, audacity, and total renewal. And that is what requires you to leave your dependence and withdrawal, as well as your past. Renewal always comes from loss, from death, real or symbolic. So, of course, it is up to you to sort out what really matters and what no longer does not. Et voilà. I am ending my flow here. Thank you for being there again. And if this video speaks to you, click the thumbs up, share your thought, and make a comment. And of course, if you want an astrology reading with me, if you have the calling of it, please contact me. Blessed be all with love. Thank you so much.